Hi, I'm Kelly, and welcome to my presentation on learning styles in this class. I chose to focus on pictures because I think pictures convey information that we know unconsciously, even when we are not consciously aware of it. During the previous 2 weeks, we've spoken a lot about theory, we've read a lot of ideas, but do these ideas really apply to anything? And I believe they show up very clearly in some of the visuals that classmates present. I would like to start with Maureen. Maureen presents modalities, even before we knew they were called modalities. Two of the biggest things she has in her image are auditory and visual spatial, if you look at the red lines. The majority of the research that is done in teaching and learning focuses on these two senses. Obviously, we learn from other senses, but these are the two biggest ones that are used. Julia and David spoke about being hands-on learners. I choose to interpret their images a little bit differently. We live in an information society where we're bombarded with data all the time. From working memory, we know we can only hold roughly 7 bits of data at a time before we just can't remember things anymore. Any learning is active learning. We have to decide what to focus on, what to recall, what we will use. Sean's slide is a great example of long-term memory. To organize his opportunities, threats, weaknesses, and strengths in such a detailed manner, it has to come from long-term memory. Kathy shows us a great organic image of integration. Zoll says that neurons that fire together wire together. I think this is a great example. While her focus is classical music, she has emotion, action, senses, all integrated. We're constantly integrating sensory with emotional information. We're constantly filing new bits of data in our mental encyclopedia. So this is something we do all the time. For George, learning is related to emotion. I'll never go to Antarctica. I hate cold. It scares me. He went, but when I look at his pictures, I think of excitement, danger, and novelty. And obviously it was an important enough trip to him to be the main focus of his visual in this class. And we know emotion is closely related to learning. I chose to present my visual as a path. As a kid, I loved reading. A lot of what I learned came from books, so it seemed the most logical way for me to present it. As a teen, I found out that when I explained things, I learned them better, so I presented mine as a path. The thing is, when I looked at my peers' visuals, I realized I do a lot of hands-on learning. I learn in very similar ways as they do. It just depends on what I am learning, and I've learned a lot about myself and others so far. I assume the whole class has. When it comes to basics, sometimes we're so focused on the different styles that we forget some of the joy of learning. Something we certainly should not forget. At the end, there are many paths, and they all lead to the same place, to some type of learning. Thank you for watching the video.